This Monstera has big beautiful splits, but this one doesn't. Both are growing inside the same house. So what actually makes Monstera leaf split? In this video, I'll show you exactly why some Monsteras get fenestrations and others don't, and what you can do to fix it. The splits in Monstera leaves are called fenestrations. They are completely natural. A young Monstera starts with solid heart-shaped leaves. As the plants mature and climbs, the leaves become larger and start developing splits and holes. This is a sign of maturity, not a sign of fertilizer or special tricks. So, if your Monstera has no splits yet, the first question is, how mature is the plant? This Monstera here is longer, larger and has been growing for a longer time. It has multiple mature leaves and a strong stem. Now look at this Monstera albo. It is smaller and younger. It hasn't reached full maturity yet. Monsteras usually start splitting properly once the plant becomes established and begin vertical growth. So, patience is extremely important. A small plant cannot behave like a mature plant. Time is one of the biggest factors. The second most important factor is light. Monsteras need bright indirect light to produce larger leaves with splits. If the plant is kept in low light, it will survive, but the leaves will stay small and solid. In my case, the larger Monstera gets bright light from this. See, this is placed slightly above the balcony, so there is unobstructed light is coming. However, this albo gets slightly less light because it is kept in the relatively lower portion of this balcony, and this entire portion is almost covered with hanging plants, so its effects is growth speed. Remember, variegated plants like albo and aurea grow slower because they have less chlorophyll. Less chlorophyll means less energy production, and slower growth means delayed split. Monsteras are natural climbers. In nature, they climb trees. When a Monstera grows vertically with proper support, it produces larger leaves. See this aurea. This plant has been supported with a moss pole for a long time. And see, this aerial roots are actually going inside that moss pole. That is the key. When this aerial roots attaching to the pole, the vertical growth encourages bigger leaves and more split. You can see it here. But here in this albo, still no aerial roots is not going inside that moss pole. They are not getting that much nutrients. So this plant have relatively slow growing rate, and it is not yet properly take its support. So when your Monstera is spreading horizontally without support, the leaves may stay smaller. So if you want dramatic fenestration, give your plants strong vertical support. This support is not decoration, it's a growth strategy. Overwatering is another common reason for slow growth. Monsteras like the top 2 inches of soil to dry before watering again. See, if the roots stay wet constantly, growth slows down. And when growth slows, leaf development also slows. Here my trick is that I kept this plant a bit higher, so it's have a little difficulty to give water. So when I give water, this plant is getting relatively less water than the plants are keeping in the lower side. But yes, always use a well draining soil mix. That means these roots, any plant's roots, they normally don't like to stay waterlogged. That's why well draining soil is always must. So normally you can prepare the soil with coco peat, compost and perlites or sand. This works excellent in Indian conditions. You can use 30-40% red soil also, but as you are staying in the apartment, try to use lesser quantity of soil, otherwise your pot will become very heavy. Normally monsteras require bigger size of pots for their growth, so bigger size of pots with soil, because soil has more density, so it will be very difficult for you to lift that pot and keep it here and there. Anyway, as I keep it on the above side, that is also very much difficult if this pot is heavy. So always make this soil mix very light, that will be easier for you to lift that pot. And also always make sure your pot has drainage holes. Unhealthy roots directly impact leaf size and splitting. So, after everything, why does this Monstera albo not have splits yet? Because it is younger, because it is smaller, and because variegated plants grow very slow. There is nothing wrong with it. It just needs time, strong light, and vertical support. Once it matures and establishes properly, you will start seeing fenestration. I'm waiting for this with finger crossed. Let's see. Splits are a result of maturity. It's not magic. Usually, once your monstera has at least 4 to 5 mature leaves and begins strong upward growth, you can expect splits to start appearing. But every plant grows at his own pace. The key is consistency in care. So, if your monstera has no splits yet, don't panic. Give it bright indirect light, provide strong vertical support, keep the roots healthy, and most importantly, be patient. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments which monstera you are growing, regular, aurea or albo, and I'll see you in the next plant guide. Meet you in the next Monday. Till then, bye.